Rocket Knight Adventures. Is it a game that deserves more fame than Sonic, or should everyone just forget about it? Let us talk about the game and find out if you should play it or not. The game was developed by Konami and released worldwide in 1993 for the Sega Genesis. The game's producer, Nobuya Nakasato, had just previously worked on Contra 3 for the Super Nintendo, and just like that game, Rocket Knight Adventures is a game that uses a very fast pace and satisfies players that like to go quickly through levels. In this game, you play as the opossum Sparkster, a rocket knight that sets out to save a kidnapped princess as well as the kingdom that is under attack, and blah blah blah. We're here for the gameplay, and boy are we here for the gameplay. The game feels silky smooth to play, and the controls just click. Sparkster deals damage horizontally with his blade attack, which has a good range. He's also able to deal damage with his jetpack attack, a move that can be used by holding down the attack button and releasing after a short while. This mechanic is cleverly used throughout the game, for both adding some spice to the combat as well as making the platforming more varied since you're able to fly long distances with it. Speaking of variation, the game dishes out more different types of stages than Capcom re-releases their Street Fighter games. Almost no stage are like the other one, and this makes the player never get bored, since as soon as the mechanic has been used for a couple of minutes, it's off and we're already on our way to the next one. The game starts with the standard green field platforming-like level, easing the player into the controls. But before the first stage even ends, we have already beaten a mini-boss with multiple phases, done a Gradius-like shoot-em-up section, climbed the tower utilizing the jetpack powers, and avoided giant fire beams in an auto-scroller section that isn't boring me to death. The game almost never stops to breathe and delivers non-stop action, and it's just so good. I won't tell you about all the cool mechanics in this game, but there are a few more I would like to mention, just to emphasize how much of a variation there is in this game. Like this place here, where Sparkster has to go behind a waterfall to both platform his way forward as well as fight a boss with this mechanic. One of my favorites is this one, where there are some dangerous liquid that Sparkster has to avoid. On the upper side of the screen, the view sometimes gets obstructed, but thanks to the reflection of the liquid, you can still see where the platforms are. It's both looking good and adding to the gameplay. My favorite mechanic could very well be this one, however. Some of the criticism of this game is about the difficulty. The second half of the game actually gets really hard. Since you have to play from the beginning when all credits are gone, you will most likely have to do multiple playthroughs of this game. But since you are able to blaze through the stages as you become more skilled at the game, it's still fun to do. As with many other games from Konami during this era, they don't disappoint in the music department. Many tracks were left in my mind even after playing through the game. Let's take a listen to one of the better ones together. Rocket Knight Adventures is the first game in a series that currently spans 4 different games. In addition to this game, you can also find the game Sparkster on the Genesis, as well as a completely different game that's also called Sparkster for the Super Nintendo. Both of these released in 1994. 16 years later, we received the game called only Rocket Knight for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, as well as PC. Should you play Rocket Knight Adventures? In the case that you like action-heavy platformers with the need to replay them a few times to get through it, you definitely should. I can't recommend this game enough, and even though I didn't grow up with it, I'm still finding it incredibly charming and fun to play, and I'm really glad that I was able to discover this game this many years later. If you like these types of videos, then please go ahead and check out similar ones that can be found over here. I also do stream regularly on Twitch, and for an updated schedule on that, please check the links in the description. Leave a like to this video if you liked it, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to have a fantastic day.